from the Zombie Star, and as we've been getting ready for the spooky season, I've also been reading some comics. So let's see what we've been reading this week in comics. Been reading Saga since volume number 1. We're now in volume 68, and despite it being a fantastical space epic about war and love, an extremely accessible and relatable story about family. Displaced by war and on the run for their lives, Alana has had to live under various identities and survive through various occupations, all the while trying to make the galaxy a sensible place for her teenage children Squire and Hazel to live in. Volume 68 focuses on Squire and Hazel as now teenagers struggle with the traumatic experiences they had early in the series, as well as accepting and processing the loss of loved ones and allies. Also, for the first time, get an early glimpse into Alana's childhood and kind of the early life before the Great War between Wraith and Landfall breaks out across the galaxy. Fiona Staples, Brian K. Vaughan have been bringing Saga since the very beginning, and is easily, in my opinion, the best sci-fi drama currently in print. And I have also brought just beautiful visuals to bring this dreamlike space saga to these panels. Absolutely amazing. Saga issue number 68 now. If you're not reading it, you should be reading it. BRZRKR, The Lost Book of B, issue number 1. Boom Comics is continuing its anthology series, a branch-off series from the original main BRZRKR line. Lost Book of B is another record of the timeless immortal Unute as he is wandering and captured during the time of Genghis Khan. While being an immortal of limitless power, his power is still based on lunar cycles. And when timed correctly, humans can exploit weaknesses to capture and manipulate Unute. A reoccurring theme in the BRZRKR series is, regardless of the time period, whether before the Babylonians all the way to modern times, it is always the most corrupted and powerful elements of any society that will always exploit Unute for his abilities to pursue their own goals, and in this case, Genghis Khan. Since the beginning, BRZRKR has been a really fun, violent action comic that has been set in various time periods. It has really allowed it to be diverse in its narrative as well as its aesthetic. Reeves, Kite, Garney, and Crabtree have been consistent bringing visuals for BRZRKR, very mature looking, very brutal looking for the character models and the environments. And these offshoots have been just awesome to read. If you're a fan of the original line, these offshoots are really cool. Radiant Black issue number 29.5. Kind of been all over the place with this, have been missing some issues, but this is still a really badass sci-fi to be reading. The Catalyst War is in full swing, and main characters Nathan and Marshall find themselves in the middle of an intergalactic and interdimensional scuffle that includes things like space robots, cosmic powers, and like most superhero trends these days, travel between alternate timelines. With the help of Radiant Pink, Red, and Yellow, the group meet the Catalyst army head-on, and a beautiful cosmic battle ensues, although they quickly learn that if certain events do not change in some alternate timelines, their fates, and that along with Earth's, is ultimately doomed. Radiant Black uses a lot of very common superhero-like tropes, at the same time telling an expansive and original story that includes multiple characters that have branched off into their own original titles, but all come back to the core story of Radiant Black, which really helps its scope that I've just been really into. 29.5 focuses on events that are leading up to the end of the Catalyst War. While this is a supercharged sci-fi action, it does really well for drama and character development, and I'm really interested to see where these characters will be, or if these characters will be, at the end of the Catalyst War. We need to follow up with the very next issue. Been jumping around this so I can really understand how this ends and how it's going to continue. Then here's a close-up of the artists and writers. As I've been jumping around with Radiant Black, I'm not really sure if these artists have been consistent with the book. I know Acosta and Higgins is names that have been reoccurring, I think, since the beginning. And since I've enjoyed Radiant Black for its narrative, I think it really stands out for its visuals and artistic approach in its use of like panels and whole pages that I'm just not really used to. With its beautiful settings and just ultra vibrant and colorful illustrations, makes this probably one of the most visually pleasing books that I'm currently reading. That's Radiant Black issue 29.5. And this is what we have for this week in comics. Let me know what you guys are reading. If you're reading this, let me know what you think of them. I'm Wayne from the Zombie Star. See y'all next time.